once again a warm welcome back to the DrMBalmer channel and to the part 2 in reviewing the JBL Quantum Stream Talk external microphone. Alright, let's have a look in the control panel. If we go to sound here in Windows 11, we can see that under the tab playback, if we choose and make sure that the JBL Quantum Stream Talk is selected as a default device for speakers, it will mean that the output port, the 3.5mm RCA output port on the Quantum Stream base, will act as the default. It will by default send all sound to the headphones connected there. It seems to be working fine as I have tried this. If we go to the recording, then we can see that here as well we should choose the JBL Quantum Stream Talk as the default device, and basically choose set as default device. Only this is already selected, so that option isn't available here anymore. And yeah, that's pretty much what you have to do. Of course, you can go into properties, and you can also change the name and or listen to what it sounds like. This is pretty standard things here, and then the microphone gain level. Choose quality. So you can choose 96 kilohertz, for instance, and 24-bit. And once that is done, then yeah, it should work. So let's now focus on the JBL application and see what we can do there. The JBL Quantum Engine, it is called. Okay, we will not rate the app right now, but we can see that as I'm speaking, we can notice how the microphone level here is moving about. But I don't get too high levels actually. I'm currently about maybe 12 centimeters away. What would that be? 5 inches maybe away from the microphone, and speaking in normal voice. The microphone volume here is at 100%. We can, of course, adjust it, and maybe you can notice that the recording volume changes as well. And I can also push the button, and we can see that so if I press the button on the actual microphone itself, and then I turn the knob, it also adjusts the microphone volume, and it seems to adjust it by a few steps each time. And if I long press and hold the button again, then it won't go through the mute state first. It will return back to recording normal mode. And then we also have a side tone. I believe that is the noise suppression maybe. And yeah, basically let's I have a fan here that I can turn on. Maybe we should blow some air into the microphone and see if yeah, I'm blowing some air into the microphone. Let's see if let's see if anything changes as I up this meter from off to low, mid, or high. So now I'm pointing the fan into the microphone. Yes, and I've turned away the fan. So we can see that the movement on the mic level became a lot smaller. Um, so when I went to high, so let's have a look at it again and see it in action. Yeah, or maybe not actually, but um, yeah, we can of course also try that when we are recording our videos with the overclocking videos and see if it has an effect. But one thing that I don't like is that there is this app where I can set these settings here, and the mic volume I can adjust with the knob on the microphone itself, but the side tone I can't control with any physical knob or switch or anything on the microphone. And in that case, since there, as far as I have not been able to find any app for Android at least, any JBL app where I can set the same settings. And that is unfortunate because why would there not be an app for that? It would be great if the microphone, in that case, could store the settings, so you could have like a profile or several profiles maybe. So um, let's say I have set this to mid, and then microphone volume to 100, and then I maybe have chosen some equalizer mode here, which isn't flat. So maybe I have chosen. Let's try the mic boost. I think, yeah, this should pick up more of the low frequencies. So I would like to have maybe this setting, but at the same time have it connected to my mobile phone. So I would like to have a button where I could sort of send my current settings to the microphone, and it would have a little chip and some memory, so it would remember these settings. So whenever I connect it to anything else, it would work just as well. Basically, that's what I'm missing. Um, so, well, this app is pretty good. It reflects the changes and does things, but I don't really like. There is a user profile here, so I can set a profile. Maybe profile one. Yes, so I can choose different profiles, but they're not saved to the microphone as far as I'm aware, which is a shame because I want to have the microphone connected to my phone when I'm recording some video. And In that case, I must have connected to my computer instead, and then uh, have the audio and video. So if I have the video recorded on my phone and the audio on my PC, which has to be somewhere in the vicinity of where I'm recording everything. If I want the settings that I have here, then I need to basically I need to yeah both have my phone for video recording and then a PC for audio pickup through this microphone. Why not just be able to store these settings in the microphone so it will use them whenever I connect it to anything else like a phone, and then maybe some switch so I could or button so I could sort of loop through the profile settings. So there could be, for instance, four profile settings and an LED next to each. So if I press some button, it will switch between the profiles, and I know that okay, on profile 2 I'm recording the overclocking videos, for instance. And also another feature, of course, that would be nice would be if the microphone would have been wireless, maybe, or have a wireless option. In that case, it wouldn't clutter up the workspace with another cable. The microphone itself is pretty slick and minimalistic. So the cable element of it all sort of ruins that minimalistic feel. It could have had I don't know, a lithium cell in the base or in the sort of pipe here. Maybe a thicker base with a lithium cell in it to fit more milliamp hours or something. I don't know. But in that case, let's say it would have Bluetooth or something. I could easily place it wherever I need and move it about on my workbench surface or whatever, and have it connected to my phone or PC. Yeah, and it could store the profiles and everything. That would have been nice, because now if I connect it to my phone, even if I have the boost option here, when I connect it to my phone, it will be flat again. But okay, so that's about that. Let's see what the other presets sound like. So let's choose broadcast. So right now we're broadcasting live. Well, not live, really, but broadcasting from DrMBalmer's studio. And yeah, flat. Flat is the standard flat mode out of the box, and we have heard that one. Mic boost, we just had it activated. It should pick up the lower frequencies a lot more and suppress the 2 and 4 kilohertz frequencies, but then also include 6 kilohertz. And I think that this one should sound a lot more like the Boya M3 microphone, for instance, and not too hollow on the sort of sound pickup volume, sound pickup itself. So we also have radio mode, which excludes 6 kilohertz altogether, and 4 kilohertz is suppressed. But yeah, this should sound pretty much like a radio. And yeah, so it's good that there are some profiles. There are not too many of them, but I suppose they're sufficiently different to make a difference, let's say. And I think that I like the mic boost most, but maybe that one will be more susceptible to fan noise and stuff. Um, yeah, so there's not too much more to it here, as far as I'm aware. But basically, this is what it looks like. You can do a test recording here to see what you sound like on different levels, and yeah, this is pretty much it when it comes to the software. There are profiles in here, but how do I transfer them to apply when I connect the microphone to my phone? Um, yeah, so basically, let's. I think we need to also do a test recording when I have my test bench running with the overclocking stuff. So just get all those fans up and running, and then record the sound on a computer there in my workbench room to see if this makes a difference with the side tone setting here with regard to fan noise. All right, I'm sitting here in my test bench room, and I have connected the JBL Quantum Talk to another PC here, and the point being that we should try to turn on this test bench system here using this button as usual. And once we do, we should get a lot of fan noise. I'm also recording this using the external microphone that I have, the Boya M3, the small lavalier microphone. This one. It sits on my shirt. In just a little moment, I have to fasten it again. And yeah, also I have installed the Quantum Stream Talk application on the other PC here in my workbench room, and the default settings say that the side tone is low and mic volume is 100%, and also the equalizer is by default in flat mode. So since this is a recording now on two microphones, let's just start this system and see what it sounds like on both microphones. Yes, so that's the sound. And let's just log into the system first. Yes, so you might recognize the EVGA precision and the little Asus fan control. We're currently at full speed here on the turbo mode. So this is typically what the fans sound like when we're running our test bench overclocking adventure series. And we have some fans running, so we have this orange fan, we have this Noctua fan. The GPU fan is not running, and it usually isn't. But then we have three fans for the Noctua NHD15, and behind it is also a Zalman 120mm fan blowing air right into the first Noctua fan. And yeah, it does sound quite a bit, and then we have a not so loud, but nevertheless a fan here which blows air, and air, of course, can get picked up by the microphone on its sides, maybe in this case. So the microphone is about, the JBL is about between 15 and 20 centimeters away from me right now. So and I imagine this could be like a standard recording of a overclocking stream or overclocking video uh, that we typically do on this channel. So, however, currently, oops, I knocked the microphone a bit. So, let's zoom in a bit. Maybe it's not too visible, but um, so let's inspect the change in side tone. Let's first turn it off and see if we notice any difference. Go back to low, medium, and high. Okay, so let's go to off and then go to equalizer and choose the microphone boost setting. So this is the setting that we identified sounds more like the other microphones, the Boya or the built-in microphones in the phones. It has a little bit more bass and it's not too flat. So what does this fan sound like? Let's have a listen. And then also let's compare with the Boya M3. Right, and let's go back to the microphone tab here and start increasing the side tone and see if there is a difference on the JBL. So now we're at the highest, and it will be interesting to find out if it actually does anything. Let's go to off again in a moment. Alright, we can of course, just for the sake of it, see what the fans sound like in the other presets. So broadcast, alright, and then let's choose the radio one. The radio, of course, sounds perhaps a bit, yeah, it's not what I would use per default on my recordings, maybe. Low, medium, and high. Alright, and let's go back to the standard flat mode and just try to see if there's a contrast in changing this. So okay, flat on high. Let's compare that to the Boya fan noise pickup. And then mic boost. This is what it sounds like on the JBL. So I have now disconnected the Boya M3 from my phone. So current microphone is now the Xiaomi Note 10 Pro built-in microphone. And currently I'm facing so the top of my phone is over here and the microphone is over there, so it's pointing in that direction. But if I turn the phone around and place it like this, like when we're filming, so now the microphone is turned towards the noise, which might be very well the case when we're recording if I'm not using the Boya. The Boya, of course, follows me around since it sits on my shirt, while if I'm using the phone like this, then the pickup will be, of course, the way the phone is turned, and the microphone is that way to the right, which is also where the fans, most of the fans are. Sometimes I have the phone turned upside down the other way so that it's turned away from the source of noise, but this should give a good comparison. Yeah, let's also see what the JBL Quantum Stream sounds like if I move it away a little bit. For instance, if I place it over here. And also interesting to see if I mean, this system stands on this pretty hard surface. I have some cushioning here, but it's not much. And if any vibrations are transmitted through the desk surface. So maybe if I have it over here, I would yeah. Let's see what this sounds like in terms of fan noise. Currently we're using the mic boost, but if we go to flat, and this is with the side tone set to high. If I lower it to low, which is default, or off completely. Alright, so there we have it, our comparison. So let's draw some conclusions from those comparisons. So what can be said then? Well, I must say that the JBL Quantum Stream Talk does have a very interesting sound profile, By default, the flat equalizer mode makes things sound pretty flat and hollow. Not necessarily a bad thing, but without the bass pickup from a person's voice, it does sound a bit odd, especially when you compare it to, let's say, the Boya M3 or even the built-in microphones of the two phones that I have tried with. And um, however, the JBL actually surprised me, especially now in the last comparisons that we did with the test bench system turned on with its fans, how much less fan noise it actually manages to pick up, or how much fan noise it manages to suppress. It is, however, not without a cost. I noticed that maybe you could hear it too, but when using the JBL in a noisy environment, it does in fact suppress fan noise. However, the cost is that the voice sounds a bit scrambled. It's like almost like very compressed audio in the background, and that is a bit of a shame. But on the other hand, getting rid of the fan noise maybe is worth it. Please let me know in the comments section if you like which microphone sounds the best and which would be most suitable for the overclocking open test bench system videos, for instance, where we have a lot of fan noise. And also, which sound profile of the JBL would you prefer? Personally, I feel that the side tone setting, there wasn't a huge difference between off, low, mid, and high. Maybe a tiny bit, I believe, yes, but on the higher settings, maybe it introduced even more scrambled voice sort of effect. Also, the equalizer modes. Um, Flat is, well, it's, I suppose it works and it makes sound a bit more voice, maybe a bit more, or speech, a bit more clearer. But on the other hand, it does sound very hollow. Um, so, yeah, I think that the JBL is an extreme case on one side, and the Boya is the extreme case on the other side. When comparing the fan noise pickup and sound profile, how much bass is picked up and stuff like that. But then we also have the built-in microphones of the smartphones, and they are surprisingly good actually. They sort of gather up in the middle between the JBL and the Boya. Um, but I must say I do like the JBL, especially the noise suppression actually. Even with the off mode on side tone setting, a huge difference between the Boya, especially. Yeah. So, with that said, let's list some features that I like and features that I miss, or features that work well or do not work very well. Yes. So the final verdict. now I'm recording this on the Xiaomi Note 10 Pro using the built-in microphone of the phone. So what can we say about this microphone? Well, I like the design. There's nothing wrong with it. It's sturdy, so you won't drop it. Even if even from this angle, now it will fall, but from this angle it would, yeah, it's just straighten out. And thanks to the base, which is pretty large and heavy. However, this is not a microphone without its issues, let's say. For instance, it's very simplistic, which might be a good thing, but yeah, we have this label which I have mentioned earlier, which you can remove if you want to. And if you look at the JBL's webpage, they do not have anything there, so I suppose it's not meant to be there. It's just for an initial indication for you what it does, basically. If you short press it, then it turns red and it becomes muted. Or you press it again, short press, and then it works again. However, so using the microphone out of box, connected to my phone, it worked well. However, there is no app from JBL that I can use to control the device, setting its noise cancellation or side tone, as they call it, setting, or choose the equalizer modes. Maybe you can control it from a third-party app, the equalizing stuff, but the noise cancellation stuff might not be there in that case if it does not recognize this microphone specifically. And you don't get any profiles built in that. It would be nice to have a few LEDs here and maybe a second button, or somehow be able to choose profile 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from the application, once you save a profile, you could export it via USB, for instance, or Bluetooth or something to the microphone. But as far as I'm aware, you can't. And also, yeah, this button does everything that this microphone can do when you don't have the software support. If you long press it, you can adjust the microphone gain, and it will flash once you reach either the maximum or the minimum, but you don't know where you are in between unless you count how many steps you have to go before you reach each end, and then maybe after 5 or 6 steps you know that you're at 50%, for instance. But they could have had this ring light could have been made so that there are several LEDs, and it would have lit more and more LEDs all around when you're at 100%, and then turn the LEDs off on the along the perimeter here when you decrease or increase, you know. So yeah, and if you only, without pressing anything, from the green standard mode, if you rotate this knob, then you adjust the headphone volume, the headphones which are connected here. So I have connected some headphones here, but the problem is that if you're using it like this, the cable, the placement of this analog 3.5mm connector is a bit weird to me, because if I have the microphone turned like this towards me, then there will always be a bend on the headphone cable, which means that first of all, it's not very good for the cable, and if the cable is not too long and you turn your head, it will pull on it, so it will put a lot of stress on the end here. Instead, if this one would have been, if this connector would have been on the left or the right or in the front, or maybe you could have several, so you can choose which one fits the best for you to connect it to, then that would be better, because in that case, you can see now it's not as bent at all, and that would have been a lot nicer on the cable, and you could use more of the cable length. Otherwise it will always have to, you see, and you lose this much cable before it reaches the front here, so you have less cable available to you to use. And also that this microphone should have been maybe wireless as well as having the possibility to connect it via cable, because the cable, it doesn't really, it's good that it's there, yes, but when using with a mobile device, it would be nice if it would have been wireless. And also when using with your PC or laptop, you don't want to connect a lot of USB cables to your laptop, especially if you have a very small ultra portable laptop. You don't have any too much USB connectivity maybe. For instance, you might have other devices connected, and if this one would have been wireless, it would have been nice, and also having support of a JBL app for mobile phones, for instance. But even if there is no app, then I would love to be able to save the profiles from the PC application to this, so I can set, for instance, the equalizer mode to microphone boost or broadcast or whatever, and then store it here, and then when I bring it with me, connect it to my phone, I would be able to use it with that with those equalizer settings and the settings for the noise suppression specifically. So, but otherwise, I mean, it's a $45-50 microphone. I understand that it's not $100 microphone, but at the same time, it's called the Quantum Stream Talk, and it's very minimalistic, and then it should follow that through, both in terms of connectivity, being able to be wireless, and then I understand that JBL, they even say on the packaging that it is optimized for PC, but also works great with, and then there were examples of like PlayStation 5, and they also mentioned mobile phone here in the quick start guide. But it's not an excuse for not making an app for mobile phones to save a few development dollars or whatever. I think there's, in the year of 2024, a $50 microphone marketed for streaming must have software support, not only for PCs, but for mobile devices, which are very commonly used today anyway. And at least being able to choose profiles, or have it wireless have a wireless option, or yeah, I must say I am a bit disappointed. They made it oversimplistic even for $50. But okay, it works pretty well, and I think that the out-of-box equalizer, since it doesn't have any profiles to choose from without software support, I think the profile, I understand why they made it flat. It would make voice sound clearer, but at the same time, when comparing to the Boya M3 and just the built-in microphone of a couple of smartphones, this one tends to sound flat and hollow. But maybe, I mean, it doesn't reflect your real voice, and that is not necessarily an issue, but yeah, there we have it. So final thoughts, and how many stars do I give this one? Well, I don't like to give a specific amount of stars out of 5 or 10, because I want you to make your own mind up, I should say. I have provided my input on things that I found and things that I found to be good and bad. If those are important to you or not, if they are deal breakers or not. I mean, it's of course a personal thing, and but all right, I will give this 3.6 out of 5. And that's not, I mean, that's very subjective, because the way I would like to use it, it makes it hard for me to control it in the way that I would like to. On recording videos and stuff like that from a mobile phone, and it should be as easy to control from your mobile device as from your Windows PC, basically, I think. And given that it has features, but if you're using it with your mobile phone, you can't access all those features. Either there is no inherent, for instance, noise suppression in the microphone itself. Maybe it's all software, and that would explain, for instance, why you need the software to control that, why you can't just sort of choose the level of noise cancellation on the device itself. So if all of the smart intelligence stuff lies in the software, yeah, then it's a pretty simplistic microphone. And as soon as you, if they want to cut down cost on implementing hardware features for choosing or controlling stuff, and then developing an app for mobile phones and for like Android and iOS, then that's a shame. Maybe I think that the processing power isn't enough in phones, but I think it should be. Even if all processing is done in software with regard to noise cancellation and equalizer settings, but I don't know. So yeah, a bit of a shame. For the price, yeah, sure. I do like the microphone anyway, but it's not without some serious drawbacks, I think. So, this will be it for the JBL Quantum Stream Talk. If you have any comments, leave them down below, and thank you everyone so much for watching, and look forward to more new and exciting videos coming up on the channel. Until next time, have a nice day. Bye bye.